Anyway, okay. Let's watch the murderous police gangs of Los Angeles. I'm very excited about this video because this is something that I have talked about before.
1970s.
This is something that I've talked about before. This is like really fucking incredible journalism, first of all. Incredible journalism overall. Apparently I'm in it. I don't know why. But these are the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department gangs that exist in LA County. Okay?
There have been at least 18 gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and they continue to brutalize and even murder community members today. My name is Cerise Castle, and I am a journalist. In the summer of 2020, I was working for a local radio station here in Los Angeles, and I was out covering the George Floyd rallies that were happening across the country, across the world. And I was shooting photos of people protesting, and while I was doing that, 2 cars with police officers on them in riot gear rolled into the area where people had gathered, and they shot people with less lethal munitions. And although I identified myself as press, I was shot, and the resulting injuries landed me in the hospital. A few days after that happened, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department killed a teenager who was working at his job in the Compton area. Very quickly after this young man was killed, his name is Andres Guardado, was reported that his killing may have been part of a gang initiation.
And there are some new allegations against the deputy involved in Guardado's case who did not fire his weapon. Civil rights attorneys accuse Christopher Hernandez of being part of what some call a sheriff's department clique or gang.
While I was bedridden, I started researching the history of the gangs in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and I found out that this dates back at least 50 years. I spent 6 months researching deputy gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department.
Yep.
Conservatively, I estimate I read about 100,000 pages of legal filings. And what I came away with was a 15-part series detailing 18 gangs.
Yes, she did an interview with Chapo as well. This is her.
Gangs that I was able to confirm the existence of within the department. There are the Little Devils, Posse, the Wayside Whiteys, the 2000 Boys, the 3000 Boys, the Jump Out Boys, the Banditos, the Executioners, the Spartans, the Cowboys, the Rattlesnakes, and the Tasmanian Devils. They have killed 19 people, all of whom were men of color, several of whom were in a mental health crisis when they were killed. Government from the county level, the state level, and the federal level has known about this issue since the early 1990s, and no significant action, policy change has been brought forth.
So let's do a quick run through of the gangs of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. All of them have stuff in common. You usually have official gang tattoos, a hand signal, and a way to join, usually by shooting or killing a civilian or doing something like falsifying paperwork. These are just a few of the gangs operating within the LA Sheriff's Department. The Wayside Whiteys. The Wayside Whiteys was a gang of white deputies at the Pitchess Detention Center in northern LA County in the 1980s and 1990s. Their sign was having their middle fingers crossed to create a W for white. The Linwood Vikings. The Vikings were a gang based out of the Linwood Station. Their tattoo was of a Viking, and their hand sign was an L made with the thumb and index finger for Linwood. And they were one of the most powerful and most violent gangs. A lot of their members became leaders in the department. The 3000 Boys. The 3000 Boys were based out of the Men's Central Jail in downtown LA. The 3000 Boys are particularly violent because that's where the department would transfer deputies convicted of crimes to keep them away from the public.
They're all
the Jump Out
nerds.
Boys. The Jump Out Boys operated across the county in the Operation Safe Streets unit. Their tattoo was of a skeleton with glowing red eyes, holding a revolver in the dead man's hand, a popular poker holding among law enforcement officers. They kept their manifesto in a notebook. The Regulators. Out of the Century Station, you have the Regulators, who allegedly have many members working in department leadership. The Executioners. At the Compton Station, you have the Executioners. Their tattoo is of a skeleton with a Nazi helmet holding an assault rifle. Black people and women are not allowed to join the gang. The Banditos. The Banditos operate mainly out of the East LA station, and their tattoo is of a skeleton wearing a sombrero with a smoking revolver and a sheriff's badge. They have a culture of working backwards, arresting or shooting civilians and coming up with probable cause later by planting and manufacturing evidence. There are others, like the Rattlesnakes, the Pirates, and the Buffalo Soldiers that we know a lot less about.
Anyway, I'm here today at a rally, 2-year anniversary of the killing of Paul Rea, 18-year-old young man at a traffic stop by Hector Saavedra, who's East LA Sheriff Deputy, who was a prospect.
I'm gonna need some proof on this. Bro, it's literally... I personally do not understand when you are watching something that is delivering proof to you and you go, I'm gonna need some proof on this. Like, this is extensively fucking covered and incredible news reporting.
For the deputy sheriff gang, Los Banditos. Now, how do I know that? Because 2 deputies who work here were interviewed on national TV.
LA Sheriff Deputy Hector Saavedra Soto. Is he a prospect for the Banditos?
Yes, he is.
He's a prospect.
Paul Rea is my...
What? Hassan Piker doesn't kind of suck because he bought a house. It kind of sucks because he lived in Los Angeles, but I can't recall him being involved in any LA orgs or actions in the short year and a half we've been organizing. He's just some online dude, not an active part of our fight. What the fuck? I mean, she's literally fucking followed by a bunch of organizers that I do know. If she wanted to, she could have easily reached out, dude. What the fuck? As many often do. We are currently watching one of those, we're currently watching the product of one of those community organizers, famous on Twitter now, People City Council, and their efforts to get this in front of as many people as possible. They reached out to me and wanted me to watch this, and so did the Gravel Institute. Okay? I am incredibly fucking reachable. I don't know why the fuck organizers will say, oh, dude, I never actually tried to reach out to him. Like, what am I supposed to fucking magically know that you're doing stuff? That's so strange, dude. Like, what did, oh no, Dream tweeted about it? Oh, here we go. This is like, well, at least Minecraft Twitter is not going to be mad at me. Actually, even Minecraft Twitter would most likely have a better, more comprehensive understanding of how, like, it's normal to, you know, have shelter. So is this a hashtag ad? I mean, it's also an issue that I've talked about in the past, and this is a wonderful fucking way that they are describing it. Easy to consume, perfectly made for, tailor-made for stream for mass consumption. I'm just some dude in Texas. I have no problem getting your attention multiple times a day. This is true. $3 million shelter, no shelter possible below that. Wait, but like this is such a fucking idiotic take. I'm legitimately confused. Like, what difference does it make? Like, what's it to you? I mean, people are immediately doing that. Shelter. It's literally a house. That's what it is. It's a house for me and also for my family. That is what that is. It's not like I fucking bought it so I could rent it out. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be a fucking landlord. Didn't you know it's on the individual to find an org to join yet another incredible Marxist take by leftists? Normal to have shelter, but you bought a $3 million home. What about that is normal? Okay. Your criticism cannot be, I personally find it distasteful, okay? If there is something that is like non-compliant with your principles, describe it, okay? If you have a problem, then, you know, I'll fucking solve it, okay? I'll help you. I'll help you understand. But if you're fucking... Don Sr. would be proud. Yo, what up, Dr. Lupo? But if your argument basically is, why didn't you move to a fucking place where it's cheaper and buy a cheaper house? Then that's an idiotic take. It's like, what the fuck is it to you, dumbass? The word shelter sounds poor, you know, but it doesn't matter. It's literally what it is. It's a fucking human right. Like, your argument cannot just be, I'm jealous that you have a fucking expensive house. Okay? And it fucking bothers me because I should have an expensive house. Your argument has to, like, be something different than that. If that's your fucking own, I'm sorry. Like, and that's precisely why. That's precisely why it's so silly. Every motherfucker has literally just been like, dude, I actually don't like that you bought that house. You should have bought this house instead. It's like, well, no, I didn't, okay? Suck my dick. I can't believe... No, it's always... Half of the fucking takes unironically revolve around how, like, people are mad at you guys in this community for giving me money to do whatever the fuck I want with it, okay? And then their counters are like, why aren't you fucking donating? Well, I do donate it. Oh, okay, well, then why didn't you donate even more and not buy a house? It's just like, I guess I'm offensive to you because you only have an aesthetic understanding of socialism. Like, not everything you do has to also live by these, like, fucking dogmatic principles that you yourself are not even abiding by. Like, not everything I do has to be, like, literally to further the socialist cause. Like, I fucking wanted a house, dude. That's it. Wanted a house that had enough space for me to fucking stream in comfortably while also having my mom there, okay? Sorry. Fucking suck my dick. It literally is not conflicting with any value whatsoever. That's your argument when you want to tax the rich, just jealous, lol? No, motherfucker. I actually make an argument to tax the rich, including myself. So I don't know what the fuck. Like, there is not a better fucking idiotic take that screams, I've never been to this community. I just literally came in here because I'm a fucking moron. I'm an absolute fucking baboon with zero understanding of, like, leftist concepts or anything like that. And I've actually never really watched you. And I just came in here to just talk shit because I'm fucking literally upset that you bought a house. How pathetic of a fucking loser are you that you literally are just like, I'm sad that you bought a house. That's so sad, dude. Please make your life a little bit more worthwhile, you fucking loser, okay? You don't need a $3 million house, but I still got one, okay? Suck my fucking cock. How about that? Like, what is this? Like, need. I got a fucking single family home, dipshit. That's what I got. If I got it, unfortunately, this discourse on rich socialism needs to be had. Yeah, it needs to be had because there are now actually like rich fucking media personalities that are successful and also socialist. And that's a good thing overall, okay? I'm not just saying that because it's self-serving, even though it is actually self-serving. Socialism is not a fucking poverty cult, you dumb fucks. That is a right-wing argument. And you guys, if you are actually not a right-wing hog coming in here being like, nah, I don't like that you're thriving in capitalism when I still have to work at my fucking shit job even though I still fucking defend my goddamn managers because I'm a fucking moron, okay? Like, unless you're one of those people, then I don't know. I don't understand. How is that a good thing? Genuine question. That means that, like, this is a thing that more people are fucking on board with, okay? I've been doing this for years, dude. I've been doing this shit for fucking years. I never would have imagined I would get to this level of success. Ever. People getting mad at Hasan because he bought a house and has a foothold on the current system. The community of leftists cringe at the idea of getting a foothold on the current system to help change the system to what we want. Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. If I moved elsewhere, motherfuckers would say, you're gentrifying. If I moved elsewhere, motherfuckers would say, you're trying to evade taxes. I like where I live. I have the fucking opportunity to be able to live where I like. Why the fuck wouldn't I do that? Like, it is literally not a fucking bad thing. And it's not viewers that are mad. It's like random fucking idiots who are actually upset with the system that they have to exist under. But the only way, like, because they can't fucking do anything about that, they're like, dude, you're fucking bad and wrong, actually. No, I'm not. Sorry. Okay, suck my dick. Like, well, what is the alternative? Do people just want me to turn around now and be like, just kidding, boys. I actually love capitalism, okay? It's actually very good. And you're only poor because you're fucking lazy. Like, that's what you want me to do? You want me to just, like, become a fucking weird reactionary commentator? Will you feel happy? You know, oh yeah, I knew it. That was a bad guy, and I knew it from the top. It's so dumb. I think it'd be good for Hasan to speak out about gentrification in LA and possible solutions to the problem. Yeah, good thing I never talk about that, you know? And I never did, and I never will. Except I would make so much more money on the right. All of those motherfuckers are completely a charisma suck, okay? They are a black hole of charisma. The right-wing commentator market is literally like Charlie Kirk. Are you kidding me? I could fucking run that entire market if I wanted to. And it's so fucking easy. You already rely on pre-existing biases that have been fucking permanently melted into the minds of so many people through social conditioning. All you got to do is be like, all of your worst fears are actually true. And it's the immigrants that are bad. It's the gays. And that's why Western civilization is crumbling. And anyone that doesn't have a nice house doesn't have a nice house because they didn't work hard enough. I worked really hard. And then I would get a fucking fat paycheck from Fox News and a fat paycheck from like dumbass think tanks that are funded by literal billionaires and millionaires who have every interest in continuing this fucking system. But no, go ahead, fucking cry about me, dude, for doing something that, again, very fortunate, but thousands of very fortunate fucking Americans are able to do. What is this? Your editors are quick? That's not... See, that's HasanAbi Clips. That's not one of my editors. This is not even one of my editors. This is a fan in the community, and this is their fan-run channel. They're insecure about their beliefs and need to attack someone like you to get a false sense of righteousness in their own bullshit? Yeah, probably. Whatever.
Son, he was murdered
anyway,
on June
let's get back to the actual fucking, thing that we were looking at. Sorry.
It was supposed to be a traffic stop. They pulled him out of their cars with guns. When they were questioning why they're getting pulled over, they were...
The guy who's going to become a police officer is the bastard here. Other guys who use their money on how they like are the bad ones, but me, a millionaire, can agitate against others and not even stand your ground with an org in LA because I don't like it? What? Okay, dude. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're totally correct. You're totally fucking correct, dude. I love when I just like make something up about I just completely fabricate something about the person I hate.
Were scared because they didn't know why they were getting pulled over, and they're getting pulled over with guns, to their heads, and being told that if they move, they're gonna shoot their fucking heads off. They pulled the driver out of the car, and when they pulled my son out, they're gonna handcuff my son, and I know my son was feared for his life. He just from childhood, growing up, seen me harassed before. He ran. He didn't even get 4 feet away when Hector Saavedra shot him multiple times in the back.
Paul's father was actually killed by sheriff's deputies, so he grew up his whole life being afraid of this deputy gang. So when they asked him to get out of the car, naturally he was afraid. So he attempted to exit that interaction, which is perfectly within his right since he was not the driver. Unfortunately, Saavedra pursued Paul and shot him in the back multiple times right here, and Paul died.
The two deputies that killed Anthony Vargas were also prospects for the East LA Sheriff's gang.
Anthony Vargas was shot by Sheriff Deputy Nicholas Perez and Sheriff Deputy Jonathan Rojas. Are they also part of the Bandidos gang or prospects for the Bandidos?
Prospects? Yes.
They're prospects.
How do you know they were prospects?
Just personal conversations with them, and them saying that was one of their main goals, to be a...
For the record, the reason why there's like hella fucking protection there is because these dudes in the gangs, in the sheriff's gangs, the sheriff's deputy gangs, do not fuck around. They will murder you, okay? They do not fuck around at all. As a matter of fact, the journalist that uncovered all of this now has to walk around with like actual security and a fucking vest wherever she goes.
Part of this gang.
August 12th of 2018, my nephew, he had attended a barbecue. He was just following what he always did. Whenever there was a barbecue, he showed up, took his rub. He thought it was the best rub, so hey, get it out there, right? He took it, and that was the last time. That was the last day that we seen him, was August 11th. There was a robbery call that had went into the East LA Sheriff's Department, where an individual had said that they had their $12 watch stolen. They gave a description of an individual, 30 to 40 years old, over 6 feet tall. It fit nothing of Anthony's description, wearing a completely different color shirt than my nephew had on. Two deputies from the East LA Sheriff's Department were, servicing the area at the time, and they saw my nephew walking down one of the fire paths on his way home, and they, targeted him. My nephew was punched in his head multiple times, punched in his ribs by these deputies. Before falling to his knees, where he was shot at 16 times.
It was just like bam, 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 like continual shots.
One man shot and killed by Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies. Investigators say the young man did have a gun on him, but they're not sure if he was a part of the robbery.
Anthony was not known to carry a gun on him. He slept in a room with my mom, which is his grandma. He slept directly across from my 7-year-old niece she was 7 years old at the time. Anthony was not known to carry a gun. He was not known to carry weapons. He was.
You've never seen him with a gun?
No, never.
If you get in a shooting, that's a definite brownie point.
And according to these deputies, to justify those shootings, they plant weapons on the people they stop.
There's been multiple occasions where they say, hey, we got a guy that has a gun and he's running from us. In reality, that person never had a gun. And they would say, oh, it was a phantom gun. It was something that really wasn't there.
So you have personally witnessed that?
Yes.
And we started reading the DA report and matching them with, other things that we found on our own, which includes the autopsy report. We found out through forensics that the gun that they're saying my nephew had on him had absolutely no DNA on it. None of my nephew's DNA. And I find it strange because these deputies are saying that my nephew had...
Damn, how the fuck did that happen? I wonder. I'm sure that it wasn't planted or anything like that. I'm sure it was...
Had the gun in his hand and he was like an imminent threat to them. But if he was holding a gun in his hand, there would have been fingerprints on the gun.
Immediately after I released the first part of the series, I began receiving death threats. I regularly receive threatening messages on my social media. I receive phone calls from people threatening my life. My loved ones have received these messages as well. The sheriff of Los Angeles County has instructed anyone that I reported on to personally sue me. And when I attempted to attend a press conference featuring the sheriff's department, I was detained.
Why?
I think the sheriff's department has decided to target me since I released the series.
We started just finding shit, and everything we would find out about Anthony or about the sheriff's department, we would come out and talk, and the more we would come out and talk, the cops would pass by the house and they would park on the corner of our street, which they still do to this time. They would park in the corner of our house and they would sit in their car and they would eat their lunch. And there's a corner store from where our family residence is, so the kids will walk to the store, and they can't even walk to the store because they see the sheriff's department right there, and because they know what they did to Anthony, and these are kids under the age of 15.
Holy shit. Are you fucking serious?
Deputy Art Gonzalez is a documented hero, a former Marine who became a deputy, rewarded by the LA County Sheriff's Department with the Medal of Valor in 2018 for saving the life of a 4-year-old boy.
The time is 10:59 and we are on the record.
Okay.
Now he's sounding the alarm of a group of 15 officers inside the Compton station with matching tattoos.
Chad, he's not a fucking hero because he was a Marine. That doesn't automatically qualify for heroism. The heroism comes from fucking speaking out against something like this, okay? Come on, you gotta fucking give it to someone when they're actually fucking whistleblowing on something that literally puts your life completely in jeopardy. Your life is in jeopardy. And your family's lives are in jeopardy.
Tattoos, allegedly known as the executioners.
I now call them a gang because that's what gangs do. They beat up other people.
Deputy Gonzalez, he's afraid for his safety right now.
He also reports that graffiti appeared at the station entrance.
Art is a rat, and that was placed at the keypad.
By the way, that shit 1000% is what people say when there's just this attitude, the fraternity, the boys in the blue, the thin blue line. You just can't break that code of conduct.
Pad to get into the parking lot, so that's the most visible place in the entire station.
His lawyer says he's now on leave from the department and in fear for his life.
In addition to having to hire security guards to go with me when I do my job, I've had to start wearing a bulletproof vest. Many of these death threats are credible, and I've been told by people inside the department that I should be careful. So I invested in this. This is a bulletproof vest. This guy comes with me very often.
Why do you keep doing it?
I continue to report on this story because no one else really is. And seeing the closure, I suppose, that I'm able to bring to families, oftentimes they had suspected for years that their loved one had been killed by a deputy gang member. And I can come along and confirm that. And I've also seen my reporting make a very real difference in some of the ongoing cases. Just recently, the Democratic Party of Los Angeles County passed a resolution asking for the sheriff to resign.
And now that, everything's came out, like there's a complete, turn, and like I can't tell you how it feels to like see the tide turn. It's fucking groundbreaking, and it's like it shows you the progress that's being made. It just makes you want to keep pushing more and more, because when we were fighting back then, like that push now it's come even further, and it's just like it encourages you.
The Sheriff Alex Villanueva, the lead gang member of LA County, he's a bandito himself.
This is 3,000 boys. Deputy Mark Romero is one of them, and now today I believe he's a homicide sheriff, but he's a 3,000 boy underneath.
We're out here spreading the word.
Thanks, Jordan, for the 5 tier 1 gift.
Everyone's saying it. Google LASD gangs. Everyone should be tagging their neighborhood with Google LASD gangs.
Google LASD gangs. Fuck the banditos. Fuck Sheriff Villanueva. Fuck LASD as an organization.
By the way, when you're done Googling 40% cops, Google Los Angeles Sheriff Department gangs. Okay, LASD gangs.
We know about your gangs. We're telling our people to Google LASD gangs, and we're coming for your asses.
And then there's another woman, Cerise, who has been putting together a series about the gangs in the Sheriff's Department. So I'm going to take a look at all of this as these investigations are going on.
We have video proof. We have pictures. We've taken them to the Sheriff's Department. We've called the CLC meetings. We've done what we had to do, and nothing's gotten done.
It's unacceptable. We will send a clear message to the LA County Sheriff's Department that you clean your house. You get your house in order, or we will surely help you do that. You have executioners, you have gangs in your own house.
Keep going out there and just keep fighting and keep exposing them for what they are and what they're doing, because their reign of terror isn't going to stop unless we put a stop to it. So we're not going away anytime soon, we're here to stay.
You look good for an 85-year-old Korean war veteran. Thank you. It's kind of weird because like the only way that you can deal with that is by like using the FBI. You know what I mean? Like the only people that can like accurately and adequately investigate this would be the Department of Justice and the FBI. My mom only watched CNN, got debated into watching it for at least an hour, so please be on your best behavior. I've been spamming this for 30 minutes just to get a clip to show my mom that you read chat. Feels bad, man. Aw. I mean, I do read chat, yes. I don't know if I was on my best behavior, though. I'm sorry. But hi to your mom. Did these gangs form due to the BLM movement, or they've always existed? No, dude. They predate the BLM movement. What the hell? Why would you need to build a gang within the original gang, which is the police, just for the BLM movement, dude? That's crazy. Anyway. So. That was really good. That was really well done. Congratulations to the Gravel Institute for, you know, making another great video.